Sarah had always described herself as calm, composed, the one her friends turned to for a level-headed opinion. In her office, she was a pillar of support. At home, the glue that kept everyone together. Emotional storms, to her, happened to other people, until they happened to her. On a particularly dreary Monday, Sarah woke up feeling as if a heavy blanket had been draped over her mind. She spilled her morning coffee, cursed beneath her breath at traffic, and barked unnecessarily at a coworker who mispronounced her name. At lunch, she realized she'd forgotten her salad at home and snapped her best friend during a text exchange over something trivial. When she finally returned to her apartment, Sarah collapsed on the couch, bewildered at a day that unfolded like a slow, relentless avalanche. The question gnawed at her. What was happening? Why did she feel so alien in her own body, so out of control? A targeted ad appeared on her phone that evening, almost as if the universe was eavesdropping on her downward spiral. It was for a series called The EQ Architect, The Blueprint, Self-Awareness as the Foundation for Emotional Mastery, the header read. Driven by frustration rather than hope, Sarah clicked. As she read, a concept jumped out at her, the idea of living on autopilot. The book described autopilot as letting your emotions pilot your behavior, thoughts tangled up with feelings, actions following without conscious consent. It painted a picture of the invisible puppeteer, the unseen force tugging on the strings behind your reactions. Sarah reflected on her day, the irritability when she woke up, the chain of reactions, the argument with her friend. Had she been a marionette, jerked around by invisible strings of misunderstood anxiety and fatigue? With the book as her guide, Sarah embarked on an experiment. She would be the observer, not the puppet. The next morning, as she felt impatience rising at the slow coffee machine, she paused. She noticed it, acknowledged it, and let the feeling pass like a cloud overhead. What colleague made a mistake, she took a breath, reminding herself that her emotion was a signal, not a command. It was difficult. Some days, she forgot to observe until after the fact. But with each small success, Sarah felt the invisible puppeteer's grip weaken. She was not her fleeting anger or sudden sadness. She was watching, choosing. The tiny space between feeling and action widened, and in that space was freedom. Sarah's friends noticed the shift. Her responses were more measured, her presence more genuine. Most importantly, Sarah felt lighter, more connected to herself. The old autopilot was still there, she realized, but she no longer had to let it drive. With self-awareness as her foundation, Sarah looked forward to the next phase of the EQ Architect. The map was in her hands, and for the first time, she felt excited to explore what lay ahead, determined to meet each twist in her journey as the mindful, intentional architect of her own emotional world.